Good afternoon and welcome to our first session on reflexology, where we will give you an introduction to this beautiful and calming therapy. I am Anindita and I have with me my friend Sumita here, and we will together take you through today's journey.
Thank you, Anindita, and a very warm welcome, everyone. Let me first introduce ourselves to you. Anindita here is a science postgraduate and has a doctorate in alternative therapies for overall well-being. As a passion, she took up interior design studies, and now she is a guest faculty for various institutes and colleges. She specifically focuses on wellness-focused interiors, and it has become her passion to teach this art to her students. I, Sumita, am a postgraduate in computer science. However, I found my passion in holistic healing and also got trained as a cosmetologist from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA. Right now, I'm based in Hyderabad and I run my own salon by the name of Verb, the Hair and Beauty Studio, where I impart holistic healing services. Today, we will introduce to you the therapy called reflexology, which we have found very beneficial in our own lives. Yes, Anindita.
Thank you, Sumita. Yes, reflexology is a very beneficial, non-invasive technique, and I have personally benefited much from the use of this therapy. So, to begin with, reflexology is a form of healing therapy that involves applying pressure to specific points on the hands or the feet to benefit the body and heal ailments. If the pressure is applied on the hand, we called it hand reflexology, and if the pressure is applied to foot points, we call it foot reflexology. The underlying theory behind reflexology is that there are certain points or reflex areas on the feet and hands that are connected energetically to specific organs and body parts through energy channels in the body. By applying pressure to reflex areas, a reflexologist removes energy blockages and promotes health in the related body area.
Yes, reflexologists work with the charts of feet and hand, with the corresponding organ systems and glands of the body. If you were to look at two different reflexologists' charts, you might notice a little bit of difference between them. But in general, most reflexology charts follow a similar layout. A person's right foot represents the right side of the body, and likewise, his left foot corresponds to the left side of his body. Following this logic, the spleen reflex points are located on the left foot because the spleen is located on the left side of the body. The lungs, however, they are represented on both feet since they are located on both sides of the body, and so on. What do you say?
Yes, that's correct. So the points, they reflect on the feet. That's one reason why it's also called reflexology. And yes, if you are going for a typical reflexology appointment, you can expect it to last anywhere from say 20 to 40 minutes, depending upon various factors. So your reflexologist will probably ask you some information about your general health, lifestyle, to get an idea on what areas of the hand and feet to focus on. If you need to get a specific problem addressed, you will be required to give those specific details to your reflexologist. Remember, reflexology is not just a regular foot massage. It is a therapy, and a good reflexologist will ask you specific health-related questions. After having you sit in a comfortable chair or on lying down on a table, the reflexologist might lightly massage your feet or hands to warm up the areas. And from there, he or she will begin manipulating the hands or feet with his thumbs and fingers, applying pressure on both straight or in a circular motion. Some reflexologists may also use wooden tools to apply pressure.
The reflexologist may use powdered lotion or oil, sometimes a relaxing essential oil added in to help his fingers glide along the affected area. When performing on the feet. The reflexologist usually begins at the toes and works his way down to the heel in a systematic manner. He can usually feel blockages along the way and might spend a bit of more time on those points. As a client, it is important to be as relaxed as possible to gather the greatest amount of benefits from the session. During the session, the reflexologist may suggest you engaging in some breathing techniques to promote further relaxation.
Now, a bit of history about reflexology. Because reflexology is an ancient practice, its origin and history is difficult to track. However, reflexology is thought to have been passed down through an oral tradition and possibly first recorded as a pictograph on the Egyptian tomb of Ankh-Morpork around 2330 BC, along with other medical procedures. Reflexology symbols are thought to be recorded on the feet of statues of Buddha in India and later China. The Chinese classic, The Yellow Emperor's Classic of Internal Medicine, which was written around 1000 BC, has a chapter on examining foot method and is the beginning of discussions in print about the connection of life force and points and areas on the feet. It is believed that Marco Polo translated a Chinese massage book into Italian in the 1300s, thus introducing reflexology and massage to Europe. Although there is some confusion about the true origin of this powerful therapy, it is sufficient to say that it has stood the test of time and has helped thousands of people to better health.
Yes. So let us discuss the potential benefits of reflexology. A basic reflexology massage helps to reduce the stress and anxiety, reduces pains, lifts the mood, improves general well-being. In addition, people have reported that reflexology helps them to boost their immune system, fight cancer, get over cold and bacterial infections, clear up sinus issues, recover from back problems, correct hormonal imbalances, boost fertility, improves digestion. It also eases the arthritis pain. It treats nerve problems and numbness from cancer drugs, the peripheral neuropathy. Personally, I have seen whenever I have given treatment to people for headaches, for any body pains, it has worked like magic. What do you think, Anandita?
Yes, Sumita, the benefits of reflexology are numerous. And one of its main effects, the reduction of stress, which causes many illnesses and health problems. So, reflexology rests on the theory of Qi, also pronounced as Chi, which we call as prana or vital energy. Reflexology is thought to open up blocked energy passages, which is known to be a cause of health concerns. So, reflexology is generally considered as a preventive therapy and also as a curative therapy. However, here we would like to suggest that reflexology should always be used in conjunction with other types of healing, that is, as a complementary therapy and not as an alternative therapy. So, overall, reflexology unblocks energy pathways in the body, bringing the balance into the body. It channels waste through the lymphatic system. Once you start giving pressure to the reflex points, it helps channel the waste through the lymphatic system. It improves a person's vitality. It reduces stress, very importantly. Increases blood circulation, alleviates sleep problems, apart from many other benefits.
Yes, I really like this word, less curative. Like our allopathy, it is more curative. Yoga and all those things are more preventative. This is both preventative and curative. This is the best part about it. So now we would like to tell you about the basic difference between reflexology and acupressure, because that is one question which we have been asked many a times. Reflexology and acupressure are both reflex therapies in that they work with points on one part of the body to affect the other part of the body. While reflexology uses reflexes that are in an orderly arrangement resembling the shape of the human body on the feet, hands, and outer ears, acupressure uses over 800 reflex points that are found along long thin lines, energy lines, which are called meridians, that run through the length of the entire body. To end with, generally reflexology is very safe, even for people living with serious health conditions. Like we said in the beginning, it is non-invasive therapy and it is very good to receive. So it may be worth trying if it is something you're interested in. One word of caution. If you are pregnant, make sure to tell your reflexologist before your session, as some of the pressure points in the hand and feet may induce contractions. In fact, if you have any serious medical condition as well, it is advised to tell your reflexologist about it so that he or she can take proper precautions. And to make the most out of your session, you need to inform your reflexologist about what conditions you are trying to cure. What do you think, Anandita?
Yes, definitely. You have to talk to your reflexologist, tell them about your problems. And yes, reflexology is quite useful. So here, one thing, like when we are saying useful, it may create some problem also. Like, say if you have a heart problem and you don't tell the reflexologist, the pressure point may invoke further problems instead of curing it. So tell your reflexologist what problem you have so that the reflexologist can use the proper correct points on you. That is very, very important. So hope we have been able to give you a basic understanding about reflexology and its uses. We will come soon with our sessions where we will take up specific health problems one by one, which can effectively be dealt with the help of reflexology. So subscribe and follow our social media pages. Stay connected, stay safe, and take care.
Take care, everyone. See you all soon. Thank you.
Thank you.